जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन। यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन। यमुनातीरावनचारि। 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जन शलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यादि पाषाढ़ शतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 16, verse 30 to 33. Brahmodayo bahutitam yadpanga moksha kamastapa samacharan bhagvat prapanna shastri swara samarvindavayam vihaya yat yatpad saubhag malam bhajate nurakta तस्याहं भजो किशां कुशते कुतो श्रीमद् श्रीमद्भगवतः संकलकृतागी तीनत्रेरोच उपलभ्य ततो विभूतिं लोकान् समवा व्यसुजुत्य समयी तदन्ते। Synonyms: Brahmadya, demigods such as Brahma. Bahutita, for many days. Yat, of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Apanga, moksha, glance of grace. Kama, being desirous of. Tapa, penances. Samacharan, executing. Bhagavat, unto the personality of Godhead. Prapanna, surrendered. Sa, she, the goddess of fortune. Sri, Lakshmi, Lakshmi ji. Swa Vasam, her own abode. Arvindavanam, the forest of lotus flowers. Vihaya, leaving aside. Yat, whose. Pada, feet. Saubhagam, all blissful. Alam, without hesitation. Bhajate, worships. Anurakta, being attached. Tasya, his. Aham, myself. Abja, lotus flower. Kulisha, thunderbolt. Anuksha, rod for driving elephants. Ketu, flag. Ketai, impressions. Srimat, the owner of all opulence. Padai, by the soles of the feet. Bhavataha, of the personality of Godhead. Sabankrita Angi, one whose body is so decorated. Trin, three. Ati, superseding. Arose, beautifully decorated. Upalabhya, having obtained. Tata, thereafter. Vibhutim, specific powers. Lokan, planetary system. Saha, he. Mam, me. Vyasrajat, gave up. Utsmat, utsmayati, utsmayatim, while fleeing, feeling proud. Tat ante, at the end. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was so sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrender many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with the specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by accurated being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant, thriving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. Purport. The beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man made planning. When the Lord Shri Krishna was present on this earth, the impressions of the special signs of lotus feet were stamped on the dust, and as a result of this specific grace, the whole earth was made as perfect as possible. In other words, the rivers, the seas, the forests and hills, and the mines, which are the supplying agents for the necessity of men and animals, are fully discharging their respective duties. Therefore, the riches of the world s- surpassed all the riches of all other planets in the three planetary systems of the universe. One should therefore ask that the grace of the Lord was always be present on earth so that we may be favored with his causeless mercy and happy having all necessity of life. One may ask how can we can detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after his mission is fulfilled and he has left this earth for his own abode? The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want him at all. But by his omnipresence, he can always be with us if we are attached to his devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. The only thing we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with Him by offenseless service. We can be connected with Him by the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord Himself are identical. And one who chants the holy name of the Lord is in an offenseless manner cannot and at once realize that the Lord is present before him. Even by the vibration of radio sound, we can partially realize sound relativity. And by resounding the sound of transcendence, we can verily feel the presence of the Lord. In this age, when everything is polluted by the contamination of Kali, it is instructed in the scriptures and preached by the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back home, back to Godhead. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious the Lord Himself, and and the movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from all effects of the age of Kali. So, first paragraph we can see Prabhupada is explaining about the beauty and opulence is of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by the man-made planning. And how Prabhupada is explaining that the words and rivers, seas and forests, hills and mines, these are supplying agent for the necessity for men and animals. Are they fully discharging their respective duties? And this has all been designed by the Lord for all the living entity, including animals also. Um, and there is no necessity of any particular planning by uh, human beings. Lord Himself has created such a beautiful world, and how it is well designed, and how nicely it is actually getting executed. Sometimes we feel like, it is mentioned in classes also. We heard even if our Earth little bit moves little bit away from the sun, then we can freeze, will completely freeze, earth will froze. And even if it goes little close, then earth will completely burn. So that much powerful sun is. And at the same time, maintaining that distance from sun with such a smartly and rotating, and how vegetation in the fruits and flowers are coming, how the air, water, everything is supplied by the Lord. Despite of being so many people who are ungrateful for what Lord has given, still Lord supplies without even expecting anything from anyone, because he loves anyone, everyone. There is no hatred or partiality in Lord's heart. He loves everybody equally, so much so that he supplies everyone. And at the same time, nature's law are made so that everybody follows those laws. If somebody breaks the law, they get the punishment for that, which is also created by the Lord so that health is restored. Um, and in the second paragraph, we can see Prabhupada is, this line Prabhupada is mentioning, by his omnipresence, he can always be with us if we are attached to his devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. So, nine processes of devotional service. We can be connected with the Lord by by these processes. I was thinking while I was reading, and in the second paragraph, Prabhupada particularly talks about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he inundated the chanting of the holy name throughout the world. This Nam Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan movement. And Prabhupada is saying that the Lord's holy name and Lord is identical. There is no difference. And particular one word Prabhupada stressed upon is offenseless chanting. It is not easy to chant offenseless. We keep doing offenses every day, many times. Nama aparad, Dham aparad, Vaishnava aparad, Seva aparad. There are unlimited aparads, and this current stage, I'm talking about myself. Like we keep doing offenses to the deities, offenses to the service, offenses to the holy name, to the Lord, and Um, yeah, but gradually by rising from this offensive stage to the offenseless stage, that is the only hope for us. And Prabhupada mentioned in one of his class, he said like, doesn't matter. I mean, continue chanting. Obviously, when somebody goes to the school and in the beginning, first grade or even kindergarten, nobody is perfect. Kids keep doing mistake until they learn perfectly. They do mistake, um, writing letters in a different way, sometimes not being disciplined and xyz, right? So there are many mistakes that kids do, and similarly we are also kids. In path of bhakti yoga, we just began our process of bhakti or learning. So it is possible that we do the mistake. We learn from our mistake and don't repeat those mistakes, so that we can progress steadily by Krishna's will. Chanting the holy name of the Lord and Lord Himself are identical, and one who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize the Lord is present before him. Very, very high platform. And just to get to the stage where we can chant the holy name offenselessly, we have to practice our lifelong austerity of performing, sadhana, trying our best. Service, whatever we do, if Lord is pleased, then that enhances our chanting. So I was hearing one of the class and it was mentioned service and sadhana, they are inseparable. We cannot separate out service from sadhana. So service done with humble mood, without offending any Vaishnava, just to please the Lord, like my Lord, I'm doing this service to please you. Actually, it becomes very easy, and it becomes very effective if we uh, think whatever service I am doing or whatever little bit I'm doing, whatever is assigned to me, I'm just doing to please the Lord, and not because this devotee told me, not because for this devotee. If you take out the devotee consciousness, like, hey, this devotee is asking, that's what I'm doing. But if we just change or shift our consciousness from devotee to the Krishna, I mean, obviously, if we have loving relationship with all the devotees and if we respect very well, even if we think that this devotee has given, it's more higher actually. But since we are not on that platform where we take service from all the devotees, thinking that it is coming from Krishna. So eventually, actually, in reality, any service that we are getting is actually coming from Krishna. It is an opportunity Krishna is giving us to serve. The devotee who is giving us the service is just the medium, just the instrument. At particular situation or occurrence, devotee might think, "Oh, I need this. Maybe this devotee is very helpful. Let me ask him." Right? So it is coming from Krishna, and Krishna is inspiring that particular devotee to go, hey, ask this devotee, and it is coming from Krishna basically, and devotee is becoming an instrument. Now here is one more little bit complication could come that, well, I'm bogged down with so many services already, and these devotees are keep asking me. I mean, we know in our material world, one who cries the most gets the most, right? Or one who does the most again gets the most. जो काम करता है, जो करते रहता है, हम उनको ही बोलते रहते हैं, अरे ये करेगा. But at one point in time, Lord is sitting in everybody's heart as a Paramatma. When Paramatma realizes that this person is overburdened, this person is getting so much now, then Lord inspires in the heart of the person, saying, "No, no, this person is already doing so much. Let him not give much seva. Let him just let me take care, or let me give somebody else." Whoever is sincere sadhaka, Krishna sitting in the heart inspires that way, thinking, yeah, this devotee is already doing so much, and and then the blessings from the heart comes out for that particular devotee from the other devotee's heart, and that's when Krishna gets pleased. Now pleasing Krishna, well, we hear the line, yeah, we have to please the Krishna by chanting his holy name, by doing the service. See, when we do the service, and by our service, if Vaishnavas are pleased, that is the when Krishna is pleased. And when Krishna is pleased, our sadhana automatically gets enhanced. Enhanced meaning we try to go to offenseless chanting more and more. And once our sadhana improves, then automatically everything will improve. Our dealing with Vaishnavas will improve. Our anarthas will go down. So these things will happen. But the only reason, only one thing is, we do anything and everything with the right consciousness. Many times we think this thing has, and there are unlimited factors while we do the service. Our own nature, our family background, um, our thought process, uh, or we are coming with some particular conditioning, overall conditioning. um, Somebody might be very rich in the family and they don't care about little bit of wastage or like that. Somebody is coming from a middle class family, but at the same time very careful not to waste anything. And somebody is like, you know in middle of that, sometimes wastage, sometimes not wastage, doesn't matter. So we all are coming with a different mindset, different nature, different backgrounds. And the beauty is we all are coming here in Krishna Community Center and working together, right? So at the same time, that is the when actually we have to understand that this is a Krishna Community Center is a community center. Everybody is coming here, and whatever I want may not happen all the time because I have certain nature. I want to do things in a certain way. But people who are coming may have a different background, may have a different nature, may have a different thought process that may not be aligned with me. That's okay. So we have to understand that, and we have to keep our sticking to our points a little bit aside. And there is a thin line, like we may say, yeah, this particular thing has to be done. We cannot say this and that. Well, we communicate nicely in a humble way. If it happens, well and good. Many times, what happens is we have seen that we communicate, and things doesn't happen. Well, we did our part, and less we relieve to Krishna. You know, sometimes we think, yeah, this everybody should understand this. They should do this. They should do that. We try our best, but it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. What can be done? We don't want to offend anybody, so we put it in a humble way, and then let rest up to Krishna and our temple president Shaman and Krishna Prabhu. We communicate, said, Prabhuji, I did my best. I'm trying my best, but things are still not. So what can we do? And just come back to our sadhana and our own service. So it takes a lot to learn that way. And again, I'm doing my own mistakes and offending devotees by my own conditioning and nature. But at the same time, learning from our own mistakes and try to go above our own obstacles, that will help enhance our sadhana, because it's very well linked. If we come back and because of not understanding situations correctly, if we say something to someone and get angry at someone, that devotee feels offended and say, what did I do? I didn't do such a wrong thing, and this person is just getting angry at me and just blaspheming me left and right. We may not do gross, but even little bit unha- unhappiness by our face expressions or by our action can be felt in the heart of other person. They can realize, oh, this person is not happy with me. Even that also can cause a little bit disturbance in our sadhana. So it is very very important, how do we deal with all Vaishnavas around us. So offenseless chanting can come or rise to the platform when we, it's not like I will try to chant offenselessly today and let me chant, let me, well, we can definitely. That is the only thing in our hand. We have to focus. We have to give much, and we have to pour our heart in praying and intensely praying to the Lord and trying to chant offenselessly as much as possible. But many times, what happens is we are trying. The holy name doesn't reciprocate. Holy name doesn't reciprocate. Our focus is not at the holy name. Mind goes anywhere here and there, and sometimes our holy name is reciprocated such a nicely that you can only see your concentration fully on the mantra and not anywhere else, and you're fully absorbed in chanting. That is when actually Lord Krishna is pleased, holy name is pleased with us. But when we are trying to chant but mind is not at the chanting and mind is somewhere else, that is the when something might not be right, meaning it is not like Lord is displeased. Maybe somebody is displeased and Lord is not reciprocating, but that's how we grow. It is not like we keep doing offenses and grow, but we learn from hearing. So Prabhupada is writing chanting and hearing. Hearing is most essential. Every day we have to hear. If I have particular type of anartha, I have to hear on that anartha. I have to hear Vaishnava Aparad. I have to hear the lectures on how to deal with the Vaishnavas. If I'm struggling there, open the YouTube, write dealing with Vaishnava ISKCON, and you will find unlimited lectures from all senior disciples, from all spiritual masters, Om Srila Prabhupada, how to deal with the Vaishnavas. Unless and until we hear with attention and learn and hear the instructions of our spiritual masters or our senior Vaishnavas and apply that in our life, where is the question of improvement? We'll keep doing the mistake, we'll keep struggling, and we'll keep feeling unhappy ourselves. Hmm? Process is right. There's nothing wrong in the process. It works, but just that it is not working out for me doesn't mean that process is wrong, right? I may be doing something wrong, but humble heart is always grateful heart. And if with the humility we accept that I'm struggling, I don't understand these things, let me hear and let me apply, you know. So I learned a lot from Shamanand Krishna Prabhuji, how sincere and how pure his intentions are. And time and again, every time I see the situations and occurrences by Prabhuji's, behavior, I can see more and more and more, and I get inspired more and more just by seeing his thought process and actions. You know, um, just by thinking, thinks many times. Am I thinking of myself, or am I thinking to please Guru or please Vaishnava or please Krishna? And then he takes a pause and he thinks, and then Krishna, with sitting in the heart, reciprocates to him. And then he realizes, maybe I'm becoming self. I mean, that kind of sincerity is required. That kind of sincerity and purity will come gradually by sadhana. Krishna will reciprocate, you know. So we have to learn to find faults in ourselves and not in others. If I try to find fault in myself, I am going to improve. I mean, I don't want to do this and show this to the entire world. I have to improve myself so that I can go to Krishna and one day say, Krishna, I'm here. I want to serve you and please you. And Krishna will be smiling upon us, right? So, um, seva and sadhana are inseparable. You know, dealing with Vaishnava has to be extremely careful with lot of attention, not to make anybody offended. Any rules and any rules, any discipline, things like that are all stays behind. But treating the Vaishnava with dignity, respect, and not offending, not letting them feel bad is most important thing. Everything has to be done, understood. We have to understand that yes, everything needs to be done. Everything correction also needs to be done. Somebody might be doing mistakes. This person also needs to be corrected, but needs to be corrected in a nice way, in a humble way, so that they don't feel offended. How many times we have seen classes from our spiritual masters or Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada corrected, but he never offended anybody by on the name of correction. Prabhupada gave the corrections in a strict way, but at the same time with loving, compassionate heart. And person who did the wrong immediately realized I did a mistake, and what Swamiji is telling is right. Because Prabhupada's heart has all purity and compassion, not like with hate and anger, right? He gave the correction with such a compassion and loving heart that other person felt it and they got corrected. So we have to rise our consciousness up to that level when we want to correct somebody. If we cannot, then it is best to keep quiet and get our points raised to our temple president or senior Vaishnava or particular authority and mention them, right? Prabhuji, this is I'm facing. How do we deal with it? But rather we don't get into situation to offend somebody. So it's 8:29. I want to stop here and see if there are any questions or any comments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for wonderful class, Prabhuji. By asking questions, we don't want to offend you. That's why we all want to be quiet.
No, no, no. There's nothing wrong in asking questions. That's why we have this Bhagavatam, right? I mean, yeah.
Yesterday, I heard one thing, Prabhuji. Maybe earlier I didn't hear. Maybe I'm not qualified to listen to it or something. One line I liked so much, I wanted to share.
Yeah, yeah, please
That
go ahead.
when we are not criticized means we are not doing preaching. When we
Hmm.
are trying to spread the Krishna consciousness or when we are trying to do the service or something, if we are not getting criticized means we are not doing it right. It's if we are getting criticized means you are in right way. Yeah, when we are doing something, there is a high chance that will get criticized. We have to be ready for it and we have to be okay with it. I felt that is first time I heard it and I liked it so much.
Yeah, so Prabhupada several times mentioned that in reference to see how Prabhupada says like if we are doing something and if the people in this world are not reacting, that means we are not doing. He said that
Mm.
the reason behind that is actually preaching or performing bhakti is all opposite to the material world, right?
Mm.
Everybody wants to become boss on a boss.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be enjoyer. Everybody wants to exploit.
Mm.
Everybody wants to see how. And our bhakti path is we are telling them no, we are das. We are
Yeah, it
not this
is.
body.
Yeah.
We don't want to enjoy material world, but we want to let Krishna enjoy. Hey, how can I let other enjoy? I want to enjoy. Every time we go in lunch while also people colleague or oh enjoy your lunch, oh enjoy, have nice time, oh have fun, you know.
Mhm.
At the
Mm.
same time, I know that as a jiva we must enjoy, but we enjoy with Krishna.
Mm.
So that is the reason when Prabhupada says if we are doing something and some criticism is not coming, mean it's not right. Meaning it is going opposite. And if people are not feeling
Mm.
that, you know, then they will criticize. Hey, I didn't like this, and criticize. And if we don't preach or don't say right thing, then people will not say anything. That means what we are
Mm,
saying is not getting preached. So that
mm,
is he mentioned in that sense. But at the same time, when we deal with Vaishnavas, Mataji, like
mm,
Vaishnava knows philosophy. They know everybody knows philosophy. Who is coming in Krishna community center or doing practice for many months or years or weeks, everybody understands I am not this body. Everybody
mm,
understands that there are anarthas. Everybody knows. But the point is, everybody is struggling to control them. Everybody is
mm,
struggling to deal with those. But
mm,
at the same time, everybody is clear. It's not like nobody is clear. How many times classes, Prabhuji, or anybody who gives the class strictly spoke about things, but still
mm,
people come to the class and hear. Why?
mm,
Because people know, heart of the heart, Paramatma is sitting and telling, yes, this is the right thing. Yes, this is a goal, but I am not there. I'm struggling, right? And I need to go there. That means I have sincere desire to get out of the offenses or get out of anarthas, but I'm trying my best.
mm,
And thing is that if everybody understands and everybody don't do it and they follow strictly, that means they become pure devotee.
mm,
They are no more in that sadhaka stage. But we are all. I mean, I'm talking about myself in the sadhaka stage, and we don't attain that pure devotion yet. We still have time to go, so we are still trying, struggling, praying, and we continue to do that. And eventually, by the mercy of Gauranga, Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Giriraj ji, Prabhupada, by their
by their
mercy, eventually things will be okay, or things will get better and better and better, and we will be able to overcome these stages. And when we used to do the things more frequently, their frequency got decreased now, right? And we can see how gradually things are improving. So by the
mm,
mercy of Guru and Gauranga, eventually it will happen, Mataji.
mm. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your sharing your realization. Very nice. Okay, if there is no other thing, then we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Very good. Good. Yeah.
Dandavat. Hare.